Hello, everyone. Ron Johnson here from L.T.L Tutoring Central, and it is story time. And I'm continuing on with the creation myths. This time, I'm going to be reading Piegan creation myth. And the Piegan are one of the three original tribes of the Blackfoot Confederacy. They were Algonquin speaking people from the North American Great Plains. So basically, a Native American creation myth. And as I'm reading through, you can follow along or you can just sit back and listen. Also, try to look out for some of the similarities between the creation myths because I've read several now and we'll have a few more before this series is over, if you want to call it a series. I will create a playlist for these creation myths as well, so I can put them all together for you. In addition to the fact that they'll be in the story time playlist as well. So in the meantime, sit back and relax and enjoy this next creation myth. A Piegan creation myth. Long ago, the spirits above sent the great water to flood the world below where men and women used to live. Afterwards, Napawa, the old man, created our floating island from a grain of sand in the following manner. When the time came to look for this grain of sand, Napawa was floating on a raft with Nanos, the old woman, and all the animals. He sent the otter down first. She dived at sunrise, and when she surfaced at sunset, she was dead. The old man examined her paws but didn't find anything. So he told the beaver it was his turn to dive. 2 days later, the beaver surfaced lifeless, his paws empty. The loon was next. He stayed underwater for 3 days before he died, and he brought back nothing. Napawa then asked the muskrat to go, and he stayed under for 4 days. When he floated back up to the surface, he too was dead. However, one of his front paws was closed. Napawa opened it, removed the grain of sand hidden inside, and from it made our island. When he thought our island was big enough, Napawa sent a young wolf to find out where it ended, but the wolf died of old age before he got there. Nevertheless, the old man was satisfied and set out on a journey with the old woman. The two of them were walking beside a river with banks of clay when the old woman said to the old man, "Your island is big and beautiful, but something's missing. How about filling it up with some people?" "That's fine by me," said the old man, "but I'll have the first word." "All right," said the old woman, "and I'll have the last word." "I'll get started then," announced Napawa. "Men will be made of wood and they'll grow like trees." "No," said Nanos. "They'll be made of flesh and will reproduce their kind like animals." "Let it be so," said the old man. "But they'll have square faces with the mouth running up and down and the eyes above, one on top of the other, and an ear on either side of the nose." "I don't like that design," said Nanos. "Men will have round faces with the mouth horizontal and an eye on either side of the nose. Their ears will be placed on each side of their head. Otherwise, they won't be able to hear their enemies coming without getting a nose full of dirt." "Let it be so," said the old man. "But they'll have 4 arms and 4 legs and 10 fingers on each hand." "That's far too many," said Nanos. "They won't work any better if they have 4 arms rather than 2, and 4 legs won't let them walk any more quickly." "They'll have 2 arms, 2 legs, and 4 fingers and a thumb on each hand." "Let it be so," said Napawa. "But men won't have to eat or wear clothes. They and their wives will spend all their time together playing with their children." "No, no," said Nanos. "Men will become bored doing nothing, and their wives will get tired of having them around all the time. Men will hunt all day and won't return to the teepee until sunset. While they're gone, women will gather wood and nuts, pick fruit, and dig up roots. They will also dry meat and tan hides. While they work, they'll think of their men and be glad to see them come home." "Let it be so," said the old man. But men and women will not die. They will live forever and will never part. No, said Nanos. It's better that they die. Otherwise, your island will have too many people, and there won't be enough food for everybody. I don't think it should be so, replied the old man. But we agreed, insisted the old woman. No, I tell you, replied the old man. And I'm telling you, yes, shouted the old woman. All right, said Napawa. We'll settle this another way. I'm going to throw this chip of wood into the water. If it floats, men will remain dead for 4 days and then come back to life. He threw the chip of wood into the water and it floated. There, you see, said Napawa. No, replied Nanos, we're not going to settle it like that. I'm going to throw a stone into the water. If it floats, men will remain dead for 4 days and then continue to live. If it sinks, they'll be dead forever. She threw the stone in and it sank immediately. There we are, said Nanos. Now men will feel a little sympathy for one another. Let it be so, said the old man. Several moons later, Nanos gave birth to a little girl, whom she loved very much. But when the child was old enough to help her mother with the chores, she died. Nanos regretted having wanted men to remain dead forever. She went to find the old man and said to him, "Can't we go over that problem we disagreed about last time?" "No," said the old man. "That problem's settled. What's done is done." Want to write? Here are a few questions for you. Of course, you could just ponder them, but you can also practice your writing if you like. You can answer 1, 2, 3, or all. Number 1, is it better that people work rather than spend time with their children? Number 2, would it be an improvement if people didn't have to eat? Number 3, should people die? Number 4, does the myth explain or simply describe? In other words, does the myth explain how the world and people came to be, or do we make myths fit?